Presenting Lefty for Enshrinement are Mike Krzyzewski, George Raveling, and John Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Lefty Driesell.
Well, listening to all these coaches, or players, excuse me, I'm the only coach. And players make coaches, but I'm so happy to be here. This is probably one of the happiest days in my life, whatever. And look, is there anybody in here 86 years old? Raise your hand, will you? So if I screw up, so look, if I screw up, wait till you get 86. And first of all, I want to introduce my presenters here. Mike Krzyzewski, and everybody asks me, why is Mike such a good coach? And I'll say, I'll tell you why. He graduated from the Army, West Point. Okay, he graduated from West Point, and at West Point, you lead guys, and if they don't listen to you, they get killed, So I think that's why he's such a great coach. John Thompson, I used to be a hero around D.C. till he came, right? And he took little old Georgetown that we used to beat easy. And I quit playing him. I said, no, I don't want to play Georgetown anymore. But he has done more for basketball in the country, really, for anybody I know of. And he made Georgetown. Most of y'all probably never heard of Georgetown till he got there. And George Raveling, my main man, I know he's been pushing me for this for about 20 years because he was the first assistant I signed at the University of Maryland. And you know what? I heard him say, Lefty got credit for Midnight Madness. It was me and George. In fact, it's probably George's idea. Because I'm not smart enough to do stuff like that. But today, I'm really happy to accept this honor from the Hall of Fame. It's something I prayed about, and for a long time, and I prayed about it when I was young. See, I started being a manager at Granby High School when I was 9 years old, and my daddy owned the jewelry store, and I never been down there to do the thing, but he didn't make any money. He went and poured jewelry. So I started hanging out. I lived 4 blocks from the high school. So I walked over and went there, and the coach said, hey, boy, you want to be a manager? I said, yes, sir. And I never knew much about football or basketball or baseball. And at that time, y'all can't believe this either, but at that time, we had one coach, and he coached football, he coached baseball, he coached basketball. And we had one athletic director. We had 2 people in the athletic department. How many you got now, Mike? Mike's got about 100. So I'm just telling you, that's the way it was back in the 1950s. Actually, it was the 30s when I first started. But anyway, so I started being a manager of football, baseball, and basketball. So I was at every practice from the time I was in the 2nd grade till I was in the 9th grade. Then I started playing for football, baseball, basketball, and halftime talks, post-game talks, pre-game talks, everything. So that's kind of the way I got into coaching. And I didn't think I didn't have any idea what I was going to do for a living when I got married. But I did get married to Joyce. My wife is over here somewhere. She's the prettiest 66-year-old girl in here, but she doesn't like me to tell her age, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. And so I did. And then I played at Granby High School. We won the state championship, and I got a scholarship to Duke. You know, and that was a lot of the Cameron crazies. When we go there to play, they put them skull caps on. Mike knows this. And they come up to me and say, "Sign my cap, Coach." So I put an X on it, put quotes around it. And they say, "Coach, you didn't sign my hat." I said, "I went to Duke. I can't write, man." Anyway, so I went to Duke, and incidentally, Mike, you probably don't know this, but in 1954 we won the ACC championship. That was the first ACC championship, and you know, I was pretty good. I thought I was better than the coach thought I was, anyway. But anyway, so then after I graduated from Duke, I got a JV coaching job. Well, truthfully, I got a. Is my time over yet? You know, I don't know. I've been practicing this for 3 days. They said 5 minutes, so I got 2 minutes left or something anyway. So anyway, from Duke, I got a job at the Ford Motor Company paying, I think, $6,200 a year. I worked there for 1 year. And then the JV coaching job came open at Granby High School, where I'd gone to school and played. And I said, well, I came home and told Joyce, I think I'm gonna take that Granby coaching job. I always wanted to coach. I told you I did it since I was 9 years old. And she said, well, what does it pay? I said, $3,200. And you making $6,200 at the Ford plant, you gonna take that job? I said, yeah, I'm gonna take it. I love coaching. I said, I'll work in the summertime, sell encyclopedias or do something, make some extra money. And so that's what I did. I started out as a JV basketball coach, and then I did pretty good there for 2 years. And then I went to Newport News High School, and y'all don't know this, right? But we won 57 straight games, which is still a record in the state of Virginia. I know there's my man Alonzo, he won 52 straight, right? Whatever it was. And Moses won 54, or whatever it was. But we won 57 straight. And I'm sorry that these three guys are great, but I would have Moses up here with them. Moses, I loved Moses, and if he'd have played for me, I'd have been up here a long time ago. And I'd have had Red Auerbach up here too, who was my idol. And so then from Newport News High School, I went to Davidson. We won 57 straight, and I was a pretty hot thing. And Eddie Cameron, the athletic director at Duke, liked me. So he said, I think I can get you the Davidson job if you want it. I said, go for it, man. I want to coach in college, see if I can really coach. So he got me the Davidson job, which everybody said, don't take that job. Don't, with 900 boys go to school there. And they've never won a basketball game in a tournament or in a conference or anything. And I said, well, I'm going to go there. And is my time up? No. Anyway, so in 3 years, my freshmen couldn't play back then. So in my third year, we were ranked in the final top 10. Because I told the people at Davidson, they thought I was on drugs or something, that we're going to be in the top 10. And I stayed there 9 years, and every player that I recruited played on the top 10 team. And my last year, we were 27-3, and Maryland offered me a job. And I said, I don't know, man, I got 4 starters coming back, I'm 27-3, what do I want to leave for? Well, we got Ted Williams up here in the spring. We got Vince Lombardi in the winter, and we want you to be up here in the summer or in the winter, whatever it is. So that impressed me, being up there with Ted Williams, who was my hero as a baseball player, and Vince Lombardi was the greatest football coach at the time, and he wanted me to be up there in the wintertime and coach basketball. So I took it. And, you know, I made the statement then, we're going to be the UCLA of the East. Again, I was kind of drunk or something when I said that. And, but we were pretty good. We ended up pretty good, and, you know, I had a lot of great players there. Incidentally, at Davidson, I don't think there's any coach out here that coached 2 Rhodes Scholars. I coached 2 Rhodes Scholars. And in Virginia, when Terry Holland was coaching, they used to put a fuel gauge on my head, right? And it was empty. And I saw the president holding it up. Everybody would hold it up. So anyway, after that, we had great teams. And Tom McMillan, who's here tonight, was the only Rhodes Scholar in the history of the University of Maryland. And I don't know how I coached those smart guys, but anyway, so we had a lot of success at the University of Maryland until Mike came to town, and then he started kicking our butt, and I wouldn't play John anymore. So anyway, so we did a great job there, and had, I think, 8 teams ranked in the final top 10. From there, I went to JMU, and we had a lot of good teams there, and a lot of good young men. And you know, I loved JMU. And in fact, we beat Purdue one year when they won the Big Ten tournament, or the Kent Championship, whatever it was. And from there, I went to Georgia State, which everybody said, don't go to Georgia State. It's downtown Georgia. You can't win there. But in 2000, I think it was 2000, we were 29-5 and ranked 13th in the country in the final AP poll. So I've been lucky to be able to coach and to be able to coach and recruit at 2 great high schools and 4 Division I universities. And I know everybody went over, so I'm gonna go over here. I can't stop talking about my wife. Have anybody in here been married 66 years? Raise your hand. No, you haven't. Well, I've been married 66 years, and she is the greatest thing, the greatest recruit I ever had, the most MVP I ever had, and I love her to death. I couldn't get along without her, and she gave me 4 beautiful children, and the girls, I just saw them, they were all here tonight. I got 11 grandchildren, 4 children, and a couple of husbands and wives, and every one of them are here. And in fact, the guys that get in the hall know who Fran Dunphy is, right? I mean, Fran, I can't think. I tell you, the older you get, all you try to do is remember names and go to the bathroom. You'll find out. So anyway, Fran said that I had more guests here tonight than any of the other Hall of Famers, and I love them all. And I've added something to coaching other than winning games. My son Chuck was my assistant for a long time. He's a basketball coach now, making a living coaching. I got 3 grandsons that are making a living coaching. So I got 4 of my family that are still coaching. And, you know, I got a lot more of my players. And in fact, I got 2 guys at JMU that are Division I coaches right now. So, you know, basketball has been great to me. And for me to get in this Hall of Fame is like unbelievable. And thank you very much for listening to me.